Hey guys, what's up? I'm doing absolutely well. This is Nishant Bharadwaj, and it's been a long time that I created a video on the markets, and because there hasn't been much, to be really very honest. It's just like ETFs going up, and it's ETF driven price of Bitcoin right now. So in a layman language, I would like to, if I would explain, I would say that Bitcoin going up is entirely because of ETF inflow, right? And now the ETF investors are very different from crypto investors. So even if Bitcoin corrects, it will not be similar to previous cycles, right? Because even if ETF buyers starts to book their profits, because they must be at like at least 60-70% profit, because assuming the most of the ETF buying happened between 55,000 to 60,000 US dollars. So even if they book their profits, they are not likely to invest their money into alts, right? Because they are typical stock market investors, and they are overwhelmed whenever they see anything beyond 15, 20, 30% per annum, right? So if even if they book profits, they are less likely to invest back in alt tokens, because that's not their style, right? So Bitcoin, if I speak on Bitcoin right now, monthly, it's sort of creating this uptrend channel, right? I'll try to draw this for you, right? So this channel, yeah, so this is a mega channel which will help you out to determine the future moves as well, in case of Bitcoin corrects from here, or even if we break out, if we get a breakout, it and if it turns out to be a fake out, and if Bitcoin starts to trade again in this channel, so you can mark this as the bottom range of the channel, right? That is 40,000 US dollars, right? And to me, I've seen three cycles, and to me, any number uh, is like possible for Bitcoin to achieve, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Of course, to the upside, we have a certain limit, because then we have the market cap constraint, so we can't really keep on going up forever. But if you look at the downtrend, then I would not be surprised even if you look at 48,000, you know because 48,000 would be a great buying opportunity if that ever happens, right? And if 48,000 is not respected, then 42,000 US dollars. But anyway, that's a long, that will be a very macro forecast, and we are not here for that. We are here to look at how Bitcoin is looking daily. So there is nothing much to see in Bitcoin, right? As you can see, if I'll try to look at the volume footprints, and try to figure out whether we have decent volume or not. We have a not so great volume. As you can see, that the delta was minus 355 yesterday, and it's like 305 now. So the volume is sort of getting weak. We don't have much volume in the market. It's not as strong as it was before we did 104, right? As you could see, we had 1.54k, and then here we have 346, right? And then Bitcoin did 104, it retraced back, right? So the delta buying tells us that volume is there, but it's not as strong as it was when Bitcoin was trading at 98,000 or 96,000 US dollars, right? So I'll get back to my hollow candles, right? So I use hollow candles because I'm able to see the wicks more clearly, right? So this is again creating a rising wedge in Bitcoin, as as you can see clearly. So if we break down, then we have 92,000 as the major liquidity level, because we don't really have much liquidity anywhere else beside 92,000 or 93,000 US dollars. So this is a, a daily time frame outlook. If we were to correct, then 90 to 92,000, 93,000 is very much possible and is very much doable for Bitcoin, right? And if you look at 4 hour, uh, I'll just remove it for some time. If you look at 4 hour, then you can create this channel. I think I'm able to see a channel here. So you can create this channel, something like this, right? So it looks really appropriate, right? So this channel, so if we break out, that's great, but as of now it seems to be creating a head and shoulder sort of a pattern. I'll try to draw it for you. So we have this and this and this and this, right? So if we are not able to breach 110, I mean 110K, then this is something which might happen, and we are again going to test 190 to 92,000 US dollars, and we have FOMC tomorrow. Tomorrow, I mean midnight, 12:30 a.m. So we need to keep a check on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is able to breach 11K, that's great. We are safe. But if it does not, then we might see it testing 98,000 US dollars. And if 98,000 is respected, and if 98,000 is so yeah, it's creating a higher high, which is a bullish pattern, but it's also creating a head and shoulder right now, unless 119 is breached. So if we breach out, that's great, but if we don't breach out, then we will be having a retest of this higher high pattern at 99,000 US dollars, and it will be a healthy retest. And if we breach out down from 99,000, then we are going down straight to 93,000 US dollars, right? And if we go up, there, like, it could go up to 110, 112, 115, or 120, right? Like, that's something I'm not willing to get into, because even if Bitcoin goes up from here, then it will eat up a lot of liquidity from alts, right? So if Bitcoin corrects, 98,000 is what you should look for. And if 98,000 is not respected, then 93,000 or 90,000 US dollars is what we might see in coming days. But if Bitcoin goes up, then we will be cautiously in longs, based on crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And then second we have Ethereum, right? So Ethereum, uh yeah, so Ethereum is having its bullish retest, and if this retest is successful, then we are very much likely to see an all-time high, right? So I'm bullish on Ethereum because it's having a decent structure now, and I think we might see 4,800, and I think Bitcoin will take some rest, and it's time for Ethereum to move up. So I'll mark 4,800 as the target, as long as invalidation would be 3851. Invalidation would be 3851, right? So here or somewhere here, yeah, so 3,800 US dollars will be the invalidation of Ethereum bullish thesis, and the target would be 4,800 US dollars. And if Ethereum pumps, then there are 2 or 3 blind tokens which we can long. Blind tokens, I mean there are two or three tokens which we can blindly long. One is OP, and let's see how does OP look like in technicals. So it's sort of creating a head and shoulder, but let's see whether it's creating an appropriate head and shoulder or not. So this and this head, and then again this shoulder, this head. Now if Ethereum is able to breach uh, if Ethereum is able to breach 16269, then we are very much we will very much look at 2.91 or $3 plus levels, because that's where the next resistance is, right? So we can long OP at, it's also creating a lower high right now, right? I'll try to draw it for you. It's creating this lower high right now, right? So you can draw this as a resistance in your charts. If we break out, we can long for 2.9 or $3 plus. But if we don't break out, then it's creating lower high, and this lower high will make it to test 2.30. And if 2.30 is not respected, then we are going down to 2.08 and then 1.95 respectively, right? So we have, yeah, so 1.97 is the area for Bitcoin for a decent sort of a confident long, right? But if Ethereum starts to outperform from here, then we can long, OP. I mean, if I were to long OP here, assuming that uh, Ethereum will break out, then I'll do something like this, right? So that's for OP. We have VIF. I am bullish on VIF because it created this higher high, as I've spoken before many times in the chat room. So it's creating this higher high pattern, right? So this, and then this higher high, and then it again tried to create higher high, but it sort of failed, right? And it created a sort of a head and shoulder, and now again it is attempting to create a higher high if the support is respected, right? So now, as long as this channel support is respected, then then VEF remains bullish, right? So just look at this wick. I mean, this particular wick here, right? As long as this one is respected, I think VIF remains neutral to bullish, and we might see an uptrend in bullish because of this channel, right? It has been respecting since last many weeks, right? So VIF looks optimistic to me. It looks nice to me, but the price action of VIF totally depends on Solana. And if you look at Solana, it's creating a lower high in daily, right? So we would want Solana to break out from 230 levels, right? So if we break out from 230 levels, then we can long VIF, because then we are very much likely to see Solana at 260. So we have covered VIF, we have covered Solana, we have covered Ethereum, we have covered Bitcoin, and we have covered OP. And now Flukey is one of the most promising meme tokens I think we have in the ecosystem right now, because again Flukey is Ethereum based. So yeah, it's sort of creating a very substantial and strong support. So if I were to uh, yeah, tell you its support, then this is a very decent strong support, right? So this is the support zone for Flukey. So if you were to long Flukey, uh, we were already long Flukey yesterday, right? I mean, not yesterday, but Sunday. So if you were to long Flukey, then it would look something like this, right? And if it breaks out from 0.28, then we are going to 0.33 at least, because that's where the next supply is. Right, so Floki looks something like this. It's a very lucrative setup, to be honest, because out of all the setups we have discussed, I think Floki is the most lucrative, as long as 0.20388 is respected. Right, so we have covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, Floki, with OP, and Solana. Right, and then we have S&P 500, which is sort of creating a lower, high. Right, and we need this lower high to get breached, uh, to the upside for us to become bullish. Because if this lower high is not breached, then we uh yeah, hold on. If we So this lower high needs to get breached to the upside for us to really get more confidence in longs. Because if it does, then we are very much likely to see all time high. Otherwise, if it doesn't, then we will test 6030, which will bring a decent correction in crypto. And if 6030 is not respected, then we might see 6,000 points, right? So this is the lower high which we need to track in S&P 500, because this will determine whether we are going to see a decent crypto run in coming days or not. So we have covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, S&P 500, OP, WIF, Floki, and Solana. Right. And now coming back to the one of the most major uh, indicator I look at, that is crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin and excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the market cap looks is at the top. You can't deny that. It's almost at the top, and it's sort of creating a double top. But assuming if Bitcoin corrects a little, and the money starts to flow into Bitcoin into alts, then uh we would want uh crypto total market cap to stay above 103 trillion US dollars. If it is not able to do it, if it is not able to hold the support at 103 trillion US dollars, then we will see 900ish billion US dollars, which will literally correct a lot of faults heavily. So we want crypto total market cap to stay above 103 trillion US dollars, right? So I'll try to summarize this quick. Uh, Alts currently are neutral. They are not. They are neither bullish nor bearish, because they are at the support, right? But if we see a Bitcoin correction here to 98,000, it will be a good opportunity for us to get into some longs. And I have posted a few setups here, but we will only get into them when I post them as an official call. But these are the playouts which you can look into by yourself if you are an experienced trader and you have been trading by your own self since last couple of years at least. So that's how I look at the market right now. And I think I have covered everything which is important for you to know, right? And uh, and and yeah, I mean, just wait for Bitcoin to correct a little, and then we have a decent alts waiting to pump in my opinion, and I'll be looking at with OP Flukey, uh, Solana. If it breaks out, we are very much likely to see. We are very much likely to see 260. And XRP, of course, it's pumping because of obvious reasons. They are launching their own stable currency, right? So yeah, that is it from my side. Peanut, we are in long. Peanut, we are in long already because it's creating sort of a head and shoulder pattern like this, right? So this is an active call we have, and it is currently running in profit. So yeah, so this is the inverse head and shoulder I was talking about. This, and then this, and this shoulder again. Now if it comes into play, then we are likely to see 1.4 or above levels, right? So we are in peanut long, and Floki long I would like to give after confirmation from Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm only looking at Ethereum tokens right now, to be honest, because Ethereum is looking decent to me right now, as long as 3800 is respected. And yeah, I hope I was able to convey all. I hope I was able to convey all the uh, important updates, right? Which were important for the markets. I am sorry for the background noise because I was sitting in my dining area right now. So yeah, uh, I'll uh, I'll I'll see you again in the next video update, and hopefully in the next session we do live, where you can ask your questions and ask about your favorite tokens you're holding or you're trading right now. And yeah, till then, take good care of yours, and I hope everyone in your family is doing well, and preserve your capital for the right opportunity. And because I'm very sure that we are going to see massive opportunities in the in the market at the right time, and preserving your capital is more important than getting into setups where you're not very sure, right? So preserve your capital, wait for the right moment, and I would suggest everyone to look at your annual returns rather than these weekly, monthly gains and all that sort which you see on social media, because that sort of these sort of temporary lower time frame returns keeps you in a delusion, right? So look at your annual performance if you're a trader, instead of looking at your uh, monthly or weekly performances, right? So have a bigger goal for at least 6 months or uh, 1 year, if you really want to be in the market for a long time, and if you are really serious to take trading seriously. I mean, if you're really serious for trading, and if you're really willing to make it as a sincere passive source of income. So yeah, I'll take your leave. Meanwhile, you can drop and ask your questions in the chat room, or you can tag any admins in the chat room. We have Super T Eagle, Jaffrey, and all other admins